What is up, everyone? Guys, listen up. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys my Witch build with the new Ascendancy that will give you the ability to get through the first 3 acts very comfortably. Your clears are going to be great. Your single target damage is also going to be pretty good. Like if you run into any yellow targets or bosses, you shouldn't have any issues. Obviously, you can go down and get one shot or something crazy can happen. But apart from that, you are going to have very comfortable runs in general. And the clears specifically are pretty good, which means that your survivability is going to be better simply because of the fact that you're going to be clearing a lot of enemies without any issues. Now, this is not a minion-based build. This is a chaos damage build. Now, another cool thing about this build is that I've literally not bought anything on the market. I haven't even used a lesser jewel yet. I'm just using whatever I found, and let's be honest, you don't really find the craziest gear. So the way I'm going to break this down is I'm going to show you guys the gems, the passive skills, gear, and then I'm going to show you guys some footage as well. Okay, so let's get right into it. First, let's talk about the gems. From the beginning, when you're in Act 1, one of the first things you want to focus on is Contagion, right? Contagion is going to be there to, clear as many enemies as possible pretty easily. And we're also on Contagion going to be using Unleash and Arcane Tempo. Obviously, whenever you can, go for these. It makes it much more comfortable to use Contagion. Before you get to Essence Drain, which is, I believe, at around level 6, you can pick up whatever skill you want to deal damage. As soon as you hit 6, go for Essence Drain, and this is when the game's just going to become so much easier for you. On Essence, we are going to be using Chain just to make it easier to proc everything and get those clears going faster. And on top of that, you're going to be using Zenith whenever this is going to be available to you down the road. These two, Contagion and Essence Drain, together are very, very strong, especially at the beginning of the game. Unearth is something that I also use. You use Contagion, you use Essence Drain, everything's dying, a lot of corpses. You use Unearth, and now you have an army of scorpions running with you. And, they're protecting you essentially. It's harder for the enemies to get closer to you, which means that your survivability is going to be better. And these 3 are pretty much what you're going to be using, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Now, as you level up and get to level 31, that's when the fun begins, because you are going to slap on Dark Effigy and Despair. Dark Effigy is very good for our build. Like, it spreads out the chaos damage very effectively, and in combination with Contagion and Essence Drain, you will see just how good the clears are with this overall setup. Despair is more there for like the single target damage if it's yellow targets or bosses. But let's quickly take a look what we're using on Dark Effigy. It's going to be Withering Touch and Persistence. And on Despair, we are using Spell Cascade to make it more comfortable to spread the curse, so to speak. And for the Spectre, I'm just having fun. I'm using Quadrilla. He just looks cool. He's actually pretty tanky, so he tanks a lot of damage for me when I get in those crazy situations. So that's pretty nice. But the minion slot is kind of open. If you guys want to use any of the minions, go for it. Whatever you want, you can use any of it. I don't focus on the minions with this build as much. Now, I also have Bone Storm, as you guys can see. I don't use this a lot, but I do use it when I'm going against, for example, a yellow target or a boss. And if I see I have an opening, that's precisely where I use it to deal some extra damage. I'm also running Withering Presence. This is a spirit skill. Don't forget that. And we are combining it with Clarity to keep our mana regen a little bit higher. And now let's take a look at the passive skills. So as I said, we're playing the new Ascendancy here, and we are using Necromantic Conduit. While you are not on low mana, you and allies in your presence have Unholy Might. Lose 5% of maximum mana per second, and that is exactly why we need as much mana regen as possible, okay? Now let's take a look at what Unholy Might does. Unholy Might is a buff that grants 30% of all damage as extra chaos damage. This is very, very cool with our overall build. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going for Rupture the Soul. Cursed enemies killed by you or by allies in your presence have a 33% chance to explode, dealing quarter of their maximum life as chaos damage. This is actually going to be pretty wild when we get this going, right? Now, when it comes to the overall skill tree, it's pretty simple. We're just going to focus on spell damage and we are going to focus on chaos damage as much as possible. As you guys can see, I'm also making my way over here for more increased chaos damage with Spiral into Insanity. Apart from that, we have the Potent Incantation for more spell damage. We also have Lingering Horror. As I said, chaos damage, more chaos damage with Void. And if we go all the way up top, you will see that I'm also using Dark Entries, +1 to level of all chaos skills. So all of these things combined is what gives us the ability to have really nice clears and damage overall, especially after all the crazy nerfs and whatever happened. Compared to all the stuff that is going on right now in the game, this build feels very nice, and you will see that in the gameplay as well. Here, let's take a look at what I'm running here. So my gloves, increased evasion rating, a little bit of life, that's fine. +8 to fire resistance, +9 to lightning resistance. And that's another point I want to show you guys. My resistances aren't even that good at all, but I'm still managing to get through all the acts very easily. And that's a good sign. You know what I mean? That is because that means I'm killing stuff pretty quickly in order to not die. And that's what matters. In the long run, you want to get your resistances sorted out. You do not want this to look like this, but the build works even though this is like this because we kill everything pretty quickly. Then the rings, this is level 20 ring. It's nothing crazy. Evasion rating essentially doesn't do much for me apart from the chaos resistance. Then on the second one, we have some fire resistance, mana, and +5 to all attributes. This is okay, but once again, you guys can see we don't have any crazy gear here. For the boots, I was just focused on movement speed. We have +15% movement speed, which is always nice. Makes it more comfortable to get through the acts. Let's take a look at the weapons. This weapon is pretty decent. We have 39% increased spell damage and +1 to level of all chaos spell skills. Then for my scepter, it's like a okay-ish, right? +15% increased spirit, nothing crazy there. Could be much better. I might like completely swap out the scepter actually and try something else, but I do enjoy the fact that I can turn all of these monsters into my minions, so I might stick with the scepter. I don't know. It's overall, I'm having a pretty good time right now as the build is coming together. Now, when it comes to the amulet, nothing crazy here. Maximum energy shield and +8% to lightning resistance. A little bit of intelligence, which is nice. Here's the belt. You guys can pause this if you want. For the helmet, I got this unique helmet, Crown of the Victor, and it gives me +1 to level of all skills. I'm kind of happy about that, so I'm keeping this on for now. But yeah, that's about it. I haven't spent any money on gear on the market. Nothing, guys. This is literally just whatever dropped. Now, I'm going to show you guys some footage on how all of this works when it comes to clearing and so on. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is that this is not the final form. I'm definitely going to be moving some things around, changing this build, and I will keep you guys updated as it gets better and better. This is just a quick starter build for you guys in case you were having some trouble with the first 3 acts, right? So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna showcase the gameplay now. Currently, I have warriors, as you guys can see, but you can, as mentioned, use any minions you want, right? Here's some more enemies and more enemies. Nice. Okay, Dark Effigy. Once again, Contagion. And let the clear begin. You know what I mean? Boom, just like that. Within a second, they just disappear, man. It's great damage, great clears, and because we're killing everything so fast, our survivability feels better because they can't really do anything. They can't get to you as fast, right? Here's some more enemies. Dark Effigy again. Drop some Contagion on him. Ooh, cut skill gem level 9. I shall take that gladly. Oh, a bunch of more enemies. Yeah, this is good. This works. And especially the fact that it works with the gear I have is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? If you guys can find better gear, and I'm sure you can, you're just going to have a way better time than this. And this already will get you through very comfortably when it comes to the first 3 acts. It will. And even from the beginning, when you're just using Contagion, right? In essence, the build just feels good. It really does. The chaos just spreads very easily. And as you guys can see right there, and the clears become pretty comfortable. I think we found the boss. Yes, nice. Okay, first let's clear the ads so they don't bother us, so to speak. Gonna be pretty quick, actually. Oh my god, the boss is taking a lot of damage without us even focusing on him, and I haven't even used Despair. Once again. No, please, boss, don't die. Okay, so now focus on our mana here for a second. Now I'm gonna debuff him. Now he's debuffed, and we can just focus on him here. If you get an opening, you can use this skill and deal some extra damage. Drop effigy. Focus on the mana. And essentially, like right here, if I don't even hit him, we just let him die. He just bleeds out. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can take out bosses, yellow targets. It's fun. It will get you through the first few chapters without any issues. And it's very easy to put together. Once again, if you manage to find better gear, this thing will be destroying everything. Like, I on purpose did not use some of the stuff. For example, the Lesser Jeweler's Orb. I just wanted to show you guys that in its basic form, right? Literally basic form. We didn't add any new slots, nothing. This thing works and it's simple. And that is precisely why I wanted to quickly put out this video. This is not the final form of this build. I'm going to be perfecting this, working on this. So if you guys found this helpful, slap a like, drop a sub. That helps me out a lot. As always, thank you for all the love and support. Stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.